My mic? Yeah, you guys can hear me? Perfect. You know what they say about what comes last, right? Last is always the best. So thank you for being here. We are trying to keep it short so we can all go for beer, spritz, whatever is coming next, right? So one more, no more. Real estate in Cyprus is an interesting paradox, right? It's one of the fastest growing market, 20% GDPR. This event alone, there were 18 plus developers, 200 and plus projects. And when I asked you, George, how do you feel about today? You told me you were overstimulated, right? Like an overdose of stimuli, because there is so much going on. And it can be hard to stand out. First, it can be hard to be memorable. What marketeers and brand builders call it, there is a lot of sea of sameness as well around in the real estate of Cyprus as well. So I want to get into that as well. But before we go into that, can each one of you spend 30 seconds to tell us who you are, what you do, why it matters, and what you had for breakfast? Despina, you want to start?
Yes,
Pavlina, sorry.
I'm Pavlina Papalouka. My background is in branding, media, social media. I teach, and now I have a media company, and I connect investors with developers, lawyers, accountants, everything they need to relocate and invest in Cyprus. So I see both sides of the equation.
Nice.
I'm a branding expert, so I know the branding side and I know how to attract clients and speak to them. I have been training people for years on how to attract clients, developers, agents. If they listen to me, they do what I say. But
what's
now,
the percentage of listening and then not listening?
The percentage of they listen but they don't take action on the, create the content, do the content right.
Right.
It takes a lot of work. Content is an art. So that's what I do. I see both sides. I also see the side of the client now because I talk with clients and I connect them with the developers. So I see the whole journey.
Awesome.
I know the developers, so I can give you the perspective from both sides. What I had for breakfast?
You know I was going there, Pavlina.
I had some soaked
Oats.
dried fruits and nuts.
Nice.
It was very healthy because I don't want to feel bloated when I'm on a panel. So I had very light, I'm gonna eat later.
Smart. If you take away something from today, don't be bloated on a panel. Thank you, Pavlina. George?
Hi, everyone. I'm George. I'm the marketing and communications manager for Limassol Greens. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's the golf resort right next door to the City of Dreams casino, and it's the first golf resort built in a city in Cyprus. The reason I'm here today is because I'm one of the authors of the Limassol Greens story of the brand. I've been with the company since day one, and we built this brand from the ground up. And I'm very happy to say that it's one of the most successful stories in real estate in Cyprus. So I'm very happy to be on the panel today to explore more and hear more about branding and marketing in Cyprus. And for breakfast, I had 3 eggs and cottage cheese, mainly protein after the gym, and that's what I do every day.
Here we go. Don't get bloated. Eat your proteins.
Yeah.
Alexis?
So, hi to everyone, and welcome, first of all. Thank you for your time. My name is Alexis Pandeli, Sales Manager and Green Properties here in Cyprus. Actually, I am working a lot with locals and international buyers, so I can tell you a lot about the perspective of the buyers, which is very important, and about the clarity we must have as developers here in Cyprus to build the trust from developer side to a client, which is very important. Now, as for breakfast, Martin, I didn't have any breakfast.
Fasting, also important.
A lot of traffic here, so we will go direct to dinner.
We do the full spectrum here of
Exactly.
breakfast advices. Dimitri?
So we will go for beers later.
So stop.
Hello everyone, my name is Dimitris and I'm the founder of 3Visuals. We are currently one of the biggest, if not the biggest 3D studios in Cyprus. And actually I would say like 50% of the people that are downstairs in the expo are client of ours. So we basically do all the creative content a development might need in order to start selling off-plan developments. And this morning I had nothing. I'm also fasting, so
I was hoping for a fourth different take, you know.
Bacon and-
It's a very healthy pan.
It is a very healthy panel. Yes, indeed. Pavlina, you wrote that many.
You didn't tell us what you had for breakfast.
What I
then
had for
yeah.
breakfast, I had leftover souvlaki because I hate food waste and also because of proteins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we
Similar to you. Thank you for being so kind, Pavlina.
Good option.
Good option. Pavlina, you wrote in your words that many developers market project like inventory, not brands people want to buy it. Help us understand what does an inventory developer look like and what does a brand developer look like? What's the difference?
Okay, the inventory developer is a developer that shows only the product, which is important, the work of Dimitris here, how to show the product. This is what we do. This is why we're great. This is the product. This is good. It's necessary, but it should be a small percentage. It's not what will sell the brand of the developer to the ideal clients. How the market chooses today is different. The developer that builds a brand sells a lifestyle, sells a vision, sells a future in Cyprus, let's say. So educates. Instead of just creating, they think they're creating content that is informative, but this content, it's all about, look at us, we're great, this is our team, we're great. The content that actually works that people want to see on the newsfeed and the brands that they trust are brands that educate, sell the area, sell the lifestyle, sell also the negative. Some of the negative, it's not only positive, they're more real. They can be high-end, yes, but they can be informative, educational, useful. People don't like to see ads on their newsfeed and promotional videos. They don't respond to it anymore. They want to see useful content.
Yeah.
So the inventory is useful to send to the clients, is useful between the rest of the content. So that's what I...
What do you think comes first then, the brand or the inventory type of content? What would be your suggestion?
Look, if you don't have the inventory, then when the brand attracts the client, you don't have anything to show them. Because I have a brand, I attract a lot of leads. So when I forward my leads to the developers, if they don't have the inventory material, then that kills also my lead flow, let's say.
Yeah.
But the brand is first, because without the brands, you cannot attract the clients. I think it's both important, but it's a brand that will bring the leads mostly.
And George, where does marketing sit into this equation between product and brand? How do you get that, and what is the responsibility of marketing, and how would you describe marketing in a real estate company?
Marketing should be at the table from day one. It should sit at the table with all other departments in the company, and it's integral to be part of the decision making. If your head of marketing is not part of the decision, if he or she are not in the room when the name is decided, when the amenities are decided, what kind of food you are serving in your restaurants, what the after sales is, what the experience of visiting your property, your project, your resort, if he's not there, then you have already decided that marketing is just a department and it's not part of the decision making, and then you call them afterwards to dress up a product that they had no responsibility in designing and in producing and in marketing afterwards. So they need to be part of the decision. And the brief there, it's not go sell this, it's help us decide who are we talking to, how are we talking to, and what's the best way to actually achieve and translate those strategic goals into sales and build a brand that's going to last in the future. So that's where a lot of developers coming back to inventory and being a cluttered market, that's where they fail. They treat marketing as an afterthought, and then they just expect marketing to do miracles. Marketing cannot do miracles anywhere. It needs to be part of the decision and the strategy in order to build that brand correctly.
And driving into that a bit deeper, maybe with Alexis' perspective, you said that this industry many times has the mistake of treating all buyers the same, right? So what does that mean, and how and why is it important that buyers get understood and not treated the same, and how would you approach that from a practical perspective?
Exactly. Actually, I will break the market into 4 segments: investors, okay, lifestyle buyers, international buyers, which is very important, and local upgraders, which we have. Okay, what we have right now as developers, and most of them developers here in Cyprus, you will see every project and looking and feel are all the same. So we're losing the clarity. And we can't talk to an investor who cares about yield and exit the same way as we have to talk with the lifestyle guy who are looking, can I see myself here? It's a different story, it's a different conversation. So we must start to think, not trying to attract everyone, to appealing everyone, but to build something different, something with character. And it doesn't matter if we are gonna exclude some of the audience. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the trust of the buyers, the emotions of the clients, and the characters of our properties and of our brand. For that reason, I agree with George and Pavlina. Brand and positioning, it's very important nowadays because demand is high, but positioning missing.
Yeah. It's interesting what you said also, because one of the fundamental rules of brand and brand building is that if you talk to everyone, in reality, you're not talking to anyone.
Exactly.
Unless you are Amazon, right? Which, is a giant, has the budget, has the way to communicate to everyone. But even Amazon does change their marketing approaches and messaging based on specific target users. Why do you believe, Alexis, going in that a bit deeper? Why do you believe developers are not doing that? Is it out of fear or alienating someone, or what's blocking them to be more specific, and also by doing so more empathetic on this specific user group versus the other one?
Actually, they want to be, I think, to feel more safe and not limiting the demand, which there is a problem because it's not about limiting the demand. It's about to have more conversion actually, which is very important. And if you know what you are building and who your audience is, then believe me, the leads will be more and more quality leads.
Yeah.
Which is very serious about the timing and about who we are.
Yeah.
Can I add something to that?
No. I'm joking.
I think fear plays into that because specs and specs you can defend in a boardroom, but you cannot defend. We want them to feel something. We want them to feel emotional because it sounds subjective and it opens up a discussion where it leads nowhere, and it needs marketing to actually be very firm and very clear in what they want to communicate. So most developers end up going with the safe route, which is presenting specs, pricing, floor plans,
luxury,
generic dream homes. So with generic language, with generic approach, and because those are the things that you know that if asked by a board of directors or by management, you can actually have it's objective. It's there. That's the square meters. It sits on the spreadsheet. It sits on the spreadsheet. But trying to explain lifestyle and emotion and all that, it's very difficult. And then you need to fight for that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a tricky balance between obviously having a good product, but also having a good perception of it, right? So you cannot, if you're leaning too much on brand and perception, then it's fluff. If you're leaning too much on the product and the spec, it's cold, right? But we are emotional buyers. We buy more expensive products that are inferior in terms of spec based on the perception that we have, and happens all the time. We do that with cars, we do that with mobile phone, we do that with everything, right?
Just add on it, I think 99% of the buyers are buying with their emotions.
Yeah.
Because at the end, they will think, can I live here? Can I see myself in here? So at the end,
It's projection, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
And then reason justifies it.
Yeah, it comes after. Like, have you ever purchased something and then you went to your partner and said, "Oh, it was in offer, or we did a new one, or our neighbor had one and I want to have it better"? That is logic that comes after you already purchased it, right? And actually, there was a very interesting study from Business Harvard School a couple of years ago where they studied people that had physical brain issues on the emotional side of the brain, and they were unable to make accurate purchase decisions. So we are that much of an emotional buyer. And Dimitri, how does the creative and the visualization of that comes into play? But also, most importantly, something that you told me that I found fascinating is why it's a big mistake to let architects handle the 3D visualization.
So I was going to go back to Yorgos. It is all about the specifications, because if an architect is going to do your visuals, they're going to focus on the materials, they're going to focus on things that will make you understand the development. Now, I can give everyone an example here. So if you go on your phone, you can go to the Trilogy website, which is an incredible design, in my opinion. And you're going to see there that they're not advertising the design. They're only advertising the pools, the amenities. And I've seen Limassol Greens do the same thing. 90% of their advertising is the golf. It is what you can experience at that when you buy a development from them. So I do think that is extremely important. And you can't have an architect do that.
What's your background? How did you get into?
So I'm an architect myself. So sorry.
I was gonna say. So you turned to the bad side or the good side?
I'd like to think the more creative side. Let's say.
Nice, interesting.
No, architects are creative as well. Don't get me wrong, but go back to your question one more time.
The question, I think, the fundamental one that I wanted to dive into a bit deeper is like how well does the creative play in terms of generating emotions and the marketing, but also why you shouldn't have an architect lead the 3D, which you answered.
So, I think I'll answer the question. I thought I was talking about the next one, but it's fine.
No, it's good. It's good, buddy. George, you told me that also there is a very specific step where creativity should come to life, and a very specific step where strategy should come to life. So going back a bit more into your argument that marketing should be involved from day zero, what's the process then going from strategy into creativity? Guide us through that process.
I'll start in a different way. I've been, because as a marketeer, I look at the market all the time and competition and competitors, and I do market analysis and all that. We have an urge to jump on trends, and with social media and everybody's on their phones, and so we have a tendency to believe that it's trendy to be on Instagram, but what you see on that beautiful reel is just the 5% of the work. What comes before? It's positioning. It's the audience clarity. It's so many decisions going back to strategy, to the product, to who am I talking to at a specific time. You don't see that in an ad. And a lot of developers, and that happens in the industry in general, they jump into these trends. TikTok is popular, so let's go on TikTok. But it doesn't mean that because it's there, you have to be. You have to do the work before that, and strategy comes first, and great creative follows from that.
I want to add on that as well. I see it as an expert content creator. When I said a lot of people think they're creating content, they're just creating noise. And I see zero strategy behind it. Either they try to do something polished and look good, which is too promotional, or they hire the Gen Z person in the
Influencers.
Yes.
Or they use AI.
The influencers who, like, they unrelated to the audience of the developer, and they think that because the influencer has an audience, they have an audience, but they don't have authority with your ideal client. They don't know. They don't have the strategy, and they don't get it. Or they hire the Gen Z marketing department, and they want to do all these TikToks, and I see they're trying, but it's just noise at the end of the day, and they do not stand out. So, yeah, sorry. I don't know.
How would you fix that?
Well, what George said is
Yeah.
you need to start with, first of all, the strategy. Who is the ideal audience? What are their pain points? What is their vision? And how do we speak to them? How do we solve their problems through content? How do we educate them through content? How do we make the content engaging enough so that they want to watch it? Because now we are all swimming in a sea of also AI-generated content. So it's all about before you see a reel on my Instagram that I filmed in Paphos when I was last week, I did a lot of work before I went to Paphos thinking, okay, who is going to see these videos? What kind of properties can I show? And how can I show it in a way that it will be interesting for my audience? And then when I know exactly who my ideal client is, then I don't do random content at all. And then the content works, and people watch it, and they follow, and they inquire through me instead of the developers,
So
which is interesting.
do you think why would you think your ideal client would not watch Reels, let's say, or TikTok?
Would not watch.
Yeah. So
Because
the reason I'm asking is...
it doesn't speak to them. It doesn't, first of all, it's boring. These days, people are on social media, all of us, all age groups. We are so disengaged, we need like a strong hook. You will see people moving in the video when they're talking just to create a hook.
I understand that.
Yeah, so basically there's so much noise that you need to engage them from the first 3 seconds. They need to say, this person is interesting, I need to watch more. And then when they watch one video, if they go to your profile and your profile is irrelevant, again, they're not going to follow. So the actual profile needs to be relevant to this specific person. Otherwise, you're going to lose. I did a rebrand, so I lost some followers because I did a rebrand. I had a new audience recently, the past 1.5 years. Now I'm attracting this new client, and I mind losing followers from my previous, let's say, thing, because I want to talk to this specific person who is looking to invest in Cyprus, relocate to Cyprus. They're a high-level investor, they're intelligent. So I need to constantly be in their minds.
I understand.
And then, otherwise
So
I'm not going to watch
you're
it.
still creating content, but content for your ideal avatar, let's say.
Yes, so everyone needs to know their ideal client, and it needs to be part of their strategy. How do we speak to the emotions of that person, to the feelings they have before making a decision, before they even come to Cyprus? So, yeah.
Actually, that's very important, because it doesn't mean we have to appeal to everyone. Okay, we must know our positioning and show our brand, as you said.
Yeah.
With the right content.
So a few of you repeated more than once positioning. Can we define it for the audience? What do you think positioning is? George?
Well, it's your relative position against your competitors and within the market.
Yeah.
You need to do a lot of groundwork. You need to do a lot of mapping. You need to actually identify those points which are important for the audience and for your clients, and where do you see it on that map, and where do you decide to go? Everything is legit. If you want to compete in a very cluttered position, because you are a mid-range developer that sells apartments at 200,000 euros, and it's a very cluttered market, if you decide you want to be there, you have to be consciously aware of that there are around you are other 50, 100, 200 developers doing the same thing. So if you want to position yourself there, then you need to know the actions that you're going to do to be able to beat those developers around you. If you decide that this is a very cluttered position to be in, and you have the capabilities, first of all, to just move and decide I'm going to be more upscale because I want to have more revenue, bigger profit margins, but you need to be able to have the structure and the capabilities to do that.
Yeah.
So positioning is not an easy decision. It's not just looking at the market and saying, yeah, just going to be there. You need to actually know your own capabilities and where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it's very legit, again, if it takes you a few years to get there or some time, but you need to actually aim for that and do all the groundwork to be able to go there.
Yeah. And Dimitri, what changes in your creative process between clients and what stays the same?
What stays the same?
Well, you're offering a very specific product, right? A 3D visualization. So in the process to get to visualization specific for that client versus another one, what are the commonalities between projects and what is fundamentally different?
I mean, this is exactly what George is saying. So we do have a lot of projects that are just single developers. They want to build just one apartment building.
Yeah.
In that case, we'll just try to make it stand out as much as possible, because those, when you're dealing with single developers, again, they're going to their architect, so they're going to have some bad images, let's say. So when they come to us, when that single developer will come to us and we're going to create something that instantly just differentiates the one developer from the other, then that's the difference, let's say. But if you have a project like George, you then would need to focus into the amenities and all the little details that someone can get as soon as they buy a project. Because they're talking to a different buyer that is looking for those experiences.
Yeah. How do you feel about AI and new technology? Do you feel excited or threatened by the prospect of AI coming?
We actually feel exciting because our work right now takes a huge amount of time. So with AI, we can do it way quickly. Yeah. So my thoughts on AI is it will not take anyone's job. It will create more jobs, because let's say that someone would still need to create a logo, let's say, but it would still hire a creative to do that logo for them. So that creative will still have his job, but he's going to do it through AI, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the tools change, the profession stays the same. Yeah. Pavlina, like, I really enjoy your content and all the work that you have done on your social. Why did you do it? Like, what was the instigator of, like, oh my God, I need to get out there, I need to shoot content, I need to be present, I need to kind of like weaponize my personal brand. What was the thinking behind?
Well, I've been doing content for more than a decade now. Not just what I do now, which is something new with the relocation. I've been in the media for many years. And when I was in the media, I was doing PR. I was a PR person. I was also teaching media in universities. I'm a bit old. I'm dating myself. It was before social media. Yeah. So I saw all the gatekeepers. If you wanted to be on TV, you had to go through a whole series of gatekeepers. And a lot of things happened along the way if you were a woman or... I did not want to be in that environment. I left. I started my own PR agency. When I started my own PR agency, so an event agency, social media came, and I was like, wow, I can have my own media. From the first moment, I was no gatekeepers. Yeah. So I got excited. I started learning more because I had it in me already. I started teaching it, and the rest is history. I've seen many people first before I built my brand. I helped many people build their brands, build their own media companies. What excites me is that we are all the media, all of us. So the size of the media company you will build as a personal brand or as a business brand is up to you. You can be the media and you can reach people around the world. And sorry if it's somebody from the traditional media here, but you don't really need them if you have a strong brand. They will need you. They want to feature you if you are a strong brand. Yeah. So that's very exciting how we can... I click upload a video and I can reach the entire world. Yeah. And the algorithm now will take it, they're more advanced. It's even more exciting. They will just take the video and show it to whoever is interested. It's getting more and more exciting. So,
And platform-wise, what's your favorite for, and what would you suggest to invest the most in real estate?
all the platforms are important, but most of the leads, the good leads, they come either from long-form content on YouTube,
Yeah.
properly keyworded, like something that people will search. They will land on a podcast that is around their search keywords, or a long video. They will watch this video until the end. They will go and inquire to buy something. And also, TikTok works amazingly well. Like, nobody believes my stats that the people who watch my videos on TikTok are over 40 or 40 to 65, investors, highly educated. These are like profiles that don't even have a photo on them,
Yeah.
but they watch me. And like from England, from Switzerland, from wherever. And the third is Instagram. Instagram gets very good leads. And I would do a combination of three. I would not do just one.
Yeah.
I would do the long form and the short form as
Yeah.
well.
Company profile versus personal profile?
Okay, it's a very long discussion for this panel because companies want to play it safe, but people buy from people. They don't buy from companies.
Perfect.
So I have always been teaching founders to get out there and build their brand, and those who do it the right way, they win. Now, there is a little bit of fear in using your employees because the employee might leave the company, and some companies want to play it safe and they don't want their sales manager or business development managers or to build their brand. But it's up to you to keep them, to give them the incentive to keep them if they build the brand. I think the team should be involved if you're going to create a lot of content in some way. So people buy from people.
Yeah, I will agree with that. George, things that real estate brands are doing in marketing that don't work really well, and things that they should be doing more. What's your view, specifically in Cyprus, though?
Cyprus is a very unique market in terms of real estate. It's a local and international at the same time. It had a bad reputation in the past 2 years, which we had to compensate for. So there are a lot of areas where developers should be focusing on. The first one should be building that trust. The category, when a buyer goes and says, is it safe to enter this market, which we don't really manage, we should manage as a country and as a group of developers.
Yeah.
The second one is this developer safe? Is my investment going to be okay? That's where that's the second layer. And the third layer is actually the performance by the sales team and the people talking to. Am I trusting that person, which he or she is sitting in front of me and they are trying to sell me something? Most developers focus on the third one. This is what they think they can manage, and they can manage. They can manage their teams, and they can create marketing materials and assets for them to work. And they underplay the second category, which is the reputation that precedes you. And that's the title of this panel today, because most of the buyers usually decide or shortlist because the market is huge. So an investor, an international investor will come to Cyprus. They don't have time to see everybody. They will have to make a choice.
Yeah.
So your trust, credibility, reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
And they will have to make a choice. So most developers, they don't, but they should be managing their reputation.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that reputation, it's not something that it's not a line on a marketing budget. It's something that comes from doing a holistic work, from the brand, from your after sales, from the way you deliver those products. It's the accumulation of all the promises delivered or broken. So it's very important to be handling everything.
Hence, marketing is not a department.
Mm-hmm.
Alexi, where do you see things going in Cyprus real estate-wise?
Like now, right now, actually, the demand it's very high. Okay, we can agree on that. But I think we have a lot of small, big developers, which I think they are not positioned very well. They are not branding themselves very well. So because the demand is really high right now with international buyers, with the locals, we were speaking about Nicosia, let's say, then they are looking for the reputation, you said, which is very important. So I think maybe in the next 1 to 3 years, if we continue with this very big demand, then a lot of developers will not be here with us. And I don't know if this will affect Cyprus market as well to the international buyers. So this is one of our concern, I think, as developers and as all of the developers. So we must be clear and transparent with all of the buyers, international buyers, investors, local buyers, and try to build this reputation as a country, as a developer, to protect our product, which is very important. So the next year we will keep this demand very high.
Okay. Each one of you, brief answer, what should developers stop doing tomorrow?
They should stop using ChatGPT for their copywriting.
Yes!
And they should never use again. Actually, I have someone from my marketing department there. She can tell you what they shouldn't be using. When something meets something, where nature meets ambition and whatever. It's purely generic language. I think people will eventually start picking up on it instantly, and it will never land. It will not deliver. It's just generic.
It's hard to remember, right? Because we're bombarded with so many messages, and if there is something that doesn't stick out, it will not stick, right? Pavlina, what would you say?
Stop doing just traditional marketing and just go and create content that people actually want to watch, and stop just being so promotional and doing Google Ads and all of that, and then.
Dimitri?
Not spending enough money on creative content, I would say.
Go fund the creative teams. Alexi?
Trying not to appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. So simple. Find your identity and think outside of the box and try to lead to one audience, let's say, one audience.
At least to start with, right? At least get one and then go forward. We have about 2 minutes left. Any questions in the room to these very smart, handsome, sexy, beautiful people? Anyone wants to ask anything? Now is your chance to learn something. Gentleman over here.
Thank you. Thanks for good conversation. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on using certain... Thank you. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on using interactive experiences as a part of your marketing or sales strategy? For example, VR tours, different types of, 360 digital twins, something that your buyers can kind of like walk through and interact with. Is it something that you maybe tested, are thinking about, or are using actively in your projects?
Who wants to go?
Actually, it's something we must think about. I think it's very important because the buyers will feel the apartment or the property from the first interaction, which is very important. Because nowadays, a lot of the buyers, a lot of the people, they are telling us, okay, it's under construction, it's off plan, we can't visualize it. So I think it's very important for all of the developers to use these services. That's my opinion, the 360, or everything.
I will agree with you because Limassol Greens was off plan for a few years, and we were trying to translate that vision and which couldn't be translated because it's not just a tower or a simple home or an apartment. It's a whole ecosystem. It's a golf course. It's lakes. It's views. It's so many things. As long as that 3D visualization and the work is done properly and helps a buyer actually visualize the end product, yes. But then again, it's all about quality of work and how you use it and at which stage you are using it.
I think just it will help you to close more easy and more faster than deal, let's say. That's it.
Pavlina, George, Alexei, Dimitri, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
very much.
And
Thank
big
you.
applause.